Hey, it's Kay. Welcome back to Book Club. Today we're going to be talking about Edin by Lily Mayne. This is the second book in the Monstrous series, so if you haven't watched my first video, go ahead and watch it. There are some spoilers for the first book. Edin is somewhat a continuation of Soul Eater just because we are following some of the same characters. Let's get started. Our main character in this book is named Hunter. He kind of reminded me of like a G.I. Joe. That's how I imagined him throughout the book. He is 30 years old. He's been in the military for 12 years. He's described as like a really tall, like beefy kind of guy. I think they said that he was 6'5", and he has a prosthetic leg because he had lost it a few years ago where like a monster had bitten his leg off. So he wears a prosthetic, and he also has like a huge gash like across his face. Also sustained fighting monsters. This book starts with Hunter and his friend named Charlie, and it's just the two of them. They make it to the Nebraska base. If you remember from the first book, this is the base where the Soul Eater had released all of the monsters, and so the whole place is like abandoned. There's nothing in there. They go inside just to see if they can find anyone or anything, but they can't. So Hunter and his friend Charlie, they're going to walk to the next closest military base. So as Hunter and his friend Charlie are walking to the next base, they end up getting attacked by like a bunch of tiny green men, like they're monsters, and Hunter's friend Charlie gets kidnapped by them, and Hunter falls into a hole. So he's literally about to fall to his death, but he miraculously gets saved by somebody. Can you guess who? It's Edin, our main man, our main monster, of course. He pulls Hunter out from the hole, and Hunter describes him as having like an incredibly deep voice, okay, like very deep. And Hunter is 6'5", but Edin towers over him, so he's like, well, what the heck? Edin has purple skin, he has purple hair, he has fangs, he has horns, and he has really large eyes and large irises, making him look a little bit demonic. Oh, and he has a really long, sharp tail. If you remember Edin from the first book, he was the Soul Eater's like best friend. So Edin saw Hunter and Charlie get attacked by the monsters, and he says that the monsters are called colibs. And Edin also volunteers to help Hunter find his friend. Like, he's just so nice. So Hunter and Edin, they start following the colibs so that they can save Charlie. The book is told from Hunter's point of view, so we see what he's thinking as he's having his first few interactions with Edin, and in his mind he's extremely jealous of Edin's physique, okay? Because he just keeps on commenting about his muscles and like how big and strong Edin is. And apparently Edin is really taking note of Hunter too, because he's very flirtatious with Hunter like off the bat, and he tells him that he's pretty. So these two, Hunter and Edin, they have to ease into their partnership because Hunter is very distrustful, obviously. Hunter's just like really confused about why Edin is even helping him, because in his head all monsters are like aggressive and untrustworthy. But as they follow the colibs, they start to discuss like the context of the apocalypse, and Edin blames the military for starting the apocalypse. He said that some monsters are aggressive and they attack on sight, but not all of them are like that. But the military is the one that targeted all monsters indiscriminately. So really, the whole war that resulted in the apocalypse could have been avoided if the military had just like been chill about it. Anyway, they eventually find Hunter's friend Charlie, but he is like trapped in a cage, and his cage is being guarded by these huge creatures, these huge monsters called behemoths. And in my head I picture them as like the huge aliens from Mickey 17. So they're not able to save him, they're not able to do anything, because those monsters, the behemoths, they're like really hard to kill and they're very aggressive, so there's nothing they could do. Hunter and Edin, they keep following the monsters, and they're going to come up with a plan so that they can save Charlie. So Edin is leading the way because he can track the monsters really well. So he makes a joke about Hunter not staring at his bum as he walks past him. And then Hunter literally has to fight his demons not to look at Edin's butt. Like, but yeah, he thinks that Edin is like ultra masculine perfection. And then Hunter is like, wait, am I attracted to Edin, the monster, the demonic purple monster? Like, what the heck? And baby, I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this. Edin is very humanoid. Like, he's just like a super huge buff guy, but he's purple. Like, it's fine. I think it's fine. So Edin and Hunter, they continue following the collabs. Well, this journey, it goes on for days and days and days. So Edin and Hunter, they're spending a lot of time together. They're building rapport, and the attraction is building as well, okay? Edin decides to bring Hunter with him to find Win and Danny, our couple from book 1. Because Edin thinks with Win's help, they'll be able to subdue the behemoths just enough to rescue Hunter's friend Charlie. So they link Win and Danny, and Win agrees to help them. Hunter observes Win and Danny being like extremely affectionate with each other, and he's shocked by it. He's a little bit scandalized by it at first, but seeing them have such a loving relationship with each other, it gives Hunter the courage to express his feelings about Edin. He tells Edin that he's attracted to him, that he likes him, and Edin calls him a morsel because he said that he wanted to eat him from the moment that he laid eyes on him. Yeah, so they fuck. And remember that freaking Hunter, he's a big guy. He's 6'5", he's beefy, like he is usually the person in control, you know? But Edin is so much bigger and stronger than him that he likes feeling dainty and submissive compared to Edin. Hunter says, Edin was stripping me of all control of my body, taking away my agency, and I loved it. Okay. So Win and Edin, they make a plan to save Charlie. So they go off on their little plan. It takes a few hours. But when they come back, they freaking don't have Charlie. Win was not able to get Charlie out of his cage. Edin was fighting like 5 behemoths by himself, and they fucked him up. Like, he is really, really badly injured. So even though they weren't able to free Charlie, they did get some information. They found out that the collabs are planning to take Charlie to enter him into a fighting ring. They're going to make Charlie fight a bunch of other humans and monsters that are within the fighting ring. Whenever Charlie beats his opponent, then the collabs will gain something from it. So they can either gain weapons, food, information, even like slaves if they want. So yeah, that's what they're gonna do to Charlie. That night, Hunter just feels really, really bad and really guilty that Edin got hurt. So he like takes care of Edin. He makes Edin sleep in the bed with him so that if he needs anything throughout the night, then Hunter will be there to take care of him. And they share a bed every night after that. But anyway, they're back on the road. They're following the collabs to the fighting ring. So this is again another journey that takes a few days. So they're on the road, and Hunter is thinking about how him and Edin have gotten so close. But it's bittersweet because Hunter is going to have to go back to the military once they save Charlie. He's kind of starting to dread the moment when Charlie will be saved, because then it'll mean that he can't be with Edin anymore. He doesn't want to do that. So the collabs, they've taken Charlie to an old prison. That's where the fighting ring takes place. The gang's plan is for Edin to enter Hunter into the fighting ring. Hunter will go inside, he'll find out where Charlie is, and then Win will bust both of them out. That is their grand plan. If you recall from the first book, remember when the Soul Eater's face was shot off and Danny got tortured by the military? Yeah, one of the military personnel that had tortured Danny, he is there, and he's also entered his own fighter. He's forced one of his own people to fight in this fighting ring. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Anyway, the plan works. Hunter is able to find out where Charlie is. And so maybe a couple of nights later, Wynn is able to bust both of them out of the fighting ring. As they're escaping, they see that same guy, the same guy that tortured Danny, he's freaking outside. So when the Soul Eater sees him, and he tortures the hell out of him, like right outside. And they all have to wait for him to be done before they can leave. Luckily, they don't get caught. No one is aware that this guy's being tortured outside by the Soul Eater. Wynn and Danny, they go off on their own way because they're done helping. Hunter, his friend Charlie, and Edin, they go to a safe house that's about a 5-hour walk away where they'll stay and recuperate for a little while. Obviously, Edin and Hunter have some alone time, some nice spicy alone time, okay? And we finally get some tail action. Just know that tail is playing a role in all of this, okay? However, nothing comes of Edin having fangs. Like, if you're not going to use them, what was the point of even telling us that you had them? So apparently the safe house that they're in, it belonged to a doomsday prepper. They find a bunker full of supplies and food that can last them like at least a year. The homestead itself is extremely isolated. It's surrounded by woods. The woods around the home are full of animals like that they can hunt and eat, and they also have like some trees growing fruit. The house itself has like a garden and a greenhouse so they could grow vegetables. So they're able to stay for a really long time. I think they stay for about 6 weeks, just like recuperating and spending time there because they like it there. Like, it's really nice. At this point, Hunter is really contemplating if he actually wants to go back to the military or not, because he really wants to stay with Edin, and he also really loves this homestead. It feels really safe and really cozy. So Hunter has a heart-to-heart with Edin, and Hunter admits that he doesn't want to leave because Edin like soothes him and Edin feels like home to him. And Edin says that he feels the same way about Hunter. So ultimately, Hunter decides that him and Edin go together like real bad, and he's not going anywhere where Edin can't be by his side. Obviously, Charlie is still there. So Charlie decides that he's gonna go back to the military by himself, and he's gonna tell the military that Hunter had died while they were traveling, so the military doesn't end up looking for Hunter or Edin. So the book ends with an Edin POV chapter, and they're still in the safe house homestead, and Hunter ends up saying that he loves Edin. Then in Edin's mind, we see how he can already feel the pain of outliving Hunter eventually and having to be without him, but he knows that loving Hunter in the meantime will be so worth it. So he says, "I love you back." And they live happily ever after. Okay, so that was Edin. What did we think? I'm trying to decide if I like this book better than Soul Eater. I think that if I had to choose between Edin or the Soul Eater, I would probably choose Edin just because of the size difference. But I think story-wise, probably book one had a better story. I'm gonna rank Edin above Soul Eater. That is my official ranking. My one complaint about this book is that I found myself skimming a lot. They're following this group of monsters for so long that that's really all that's going on in the book for like such a long time that it's kind of boring. But yeah, other than that, decent. You know, like I said about the first book, when it comes to monster romance, no one showed up for the plot, okay? No one showed up for that, so it's fine, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm excited to read the next book because I started it already, and yeah, we're definitely getting a creature feature, like. I will see you next time to talk about the third book. Thanks for coming to book club. Okay, bye.